the load of not moving is much more volumic than the load of moving. And that's where you're getting recipes. The fact that you're making recipes based on the not moving of the web, and those recipes are inflammation.
If you remember when information was in a library, if you wanted to find some information, say a recipe, an old recipe for apple pie, and you would go to the library, which is like the nucleus of a cell, and you would pull out a book and find the instructions for the recipe. But you're not allowed to take sort of valuable old books out of a library, so you would need to write it down. So the instructions, like the library book, like the DNA, stays in the cell, but the instructions are written down, in this case by you, and you take it out to your kitchen, which in this case is the outside of the nucleus, the rest of the cell, and you
Mhm.
follow the recipe to make your apple pie. And in the case of your cell, it would be to make a protein. So the DNA has the instructions for how to make everything that is made in your cell, which is typically a protein.
I
So
love
that
that. That's a
yeah.
great I've never heard that before.
So that's what DNA is. And like a library, not all instructions are being used at the same time. So you have this huge resource of information, but it's not all being made at the same time.
No, it's just there when something
It's
needs to
just
make
that
when
exactly.
something needs to be made,
That's
the
right.
instructions live
Are
there.
there.
Okay.
Exactly.
Alright, so if DNA is a library, how does exercise affect the library?
Let me back up a little bit. Genes have like what I would call a volume control.
Okay.
So
Volume meaning,
a
sound,
dial, like a
noise?
volume
Okay,
dial.
okay,
Yeah.
alright,
Again,
not
all my references are from the 1980s.
that's right,
So
that's
like a
right.
dial rather
On
than a
a
button.
boombox, like a dial on a boombox is what you're
Exactly.
talking about.
So what exercise can do is actually adjust the volume. And by that, I would mean how much of that protein is being made. So that's what exercise can do. Like other things in your environment.
So if we go into the modern time, I wanna make a recipe, I no longer go into the cookbook. I go online and look up a recipe, but
Exactly.
there's an option on the online recipe that says, "How many people are you making it for?" And it instantly converts the recipe into feeding 12 people or 30 people. Is that sort of what you're saying exercise is
Yes.
doing? Okay,
Yes, exactly. The fundamental instruction is changing the
okay,
amount. But exercise could also stop something being made as
okay,
much.
alright, so what's an example of something I don't want made in my cell? What's a
Pro-inflammatory
recipe I okay,
pro-inflammatory markers, it's not as simple as exercise just makes more. It could be just as easily less.
yes, right, but
Yeah.
would we would inf would anything that's being made less of be considered something advantageous?
In general, with exercise, it seems to be always the result is advantageous. I have another great library analogy.
Oh, give it to me.
Okay. So, do you remember back in the day when you'd have to get some obscure book in an archival library? You have like one space, and then you have this series of sliding shelves which get packed in between, and you have to.
And a troll
A tr-
librarian to get them out for you.
that's right, and she has to push the shelf along these rails to get
Right, right,
in.
right, right.
So, compacted, condensed DNA is like those shelves, like, you can't get in there.
So what makes an archival section of a library is simply books that are not regularly retrieved. And so they've
Exactly,
determined these are low traffic books. We'll put them in an area that's not really that accessible for traffic.
exactly.
And so is that what's moving in our DNA is recipes that I make a lot of, I low in getting rid of inflammation or whatever, move to the where the best sellers, or whatever the librarian picks. Like the thing the things that we use regularly are in the front of the library, they're out and they're sort of celebrated, and then the things that we never reach for go into the bowels of the library, but what positions them is use.
Yes, I think that's great. That's a great way of putting it, absolutely. And sometimes what exercise can do is almost create, um, well, one or the other, either pack it away, we don't that's gonna be packed away,
Right, we wanna pack away, yeah, right.
or we're actually gonna change something about the structure of this DNA protein complex to make it more accessible. So that's why some of these changes can be more long term than just in the moment.
Okay.
They're actually changing the structure so that access is easier.
And any examples of a protein that is changed through regular physical activity?
So metabolic genes, so things like, anything aerobic metabolism, if you regularly are doing, moderate vigorous exercise, they will be upregulated in the moment, but they will also be more available.
They're more in the, library picks
Yes,
section
yes,
in
yes.
general.
Or protein synthesis, protein synthase genes, that kind of thing will be up there.
And I wonder, is that a way to conserve energy? Almost like because you're regularly reaching for it, it just makes it less of a search, less time taken to be able to, put away the things that you're not
Yeah, yes, you're able to respond faster, right? There's no lag because it's right there. So that's another thing. So that's why training, you adapt because those things are just, there for you to immediately access. So yeah, it's an energy because it's less time as well.
well, that's right. I mean, it just
Mm,
simply takes less
yeah,
time. I've had to write the note down for the librarian, and then they go down into the basement, and it takes a long time to get a copy of a book
right. And
from
then
the
it's just
archives.
exactly, rather than it being in the foyer for everyone to peruse.
Mhm. Mhm. Great. Now let's talk about how movement gets into the cell, because
Right.
I think that's also, I was trying to convey that in the book Move Your DNA. If you haven't read Move Your DNA and you're interested in this topic, I suggest go getting that book. It's a really great book, especially to read at the beginning of the year, when you're thinking about setting, goals or intentions for the year. It's helpful to recognize that movement is something that you're putting into your body, but how? It's so clear when you're eating food.
Yes.
You're taking it into your body. How do we put movement into our cells? Because we're used to thinking of the nucleus, I would say, controlling the behavior of the cell.
Yes.
But what I'm saying in Move Your DNA is saying the movement is actually getting into the library. How does that work?
So I coming from a more a biochemistry background, would have always assumed it was chemical signaling. And by that I mean, exercise creates some kind of release of chemicals that the cell and the nucleus is responding to, which is true. There's always chemical
There's
signaling
always
going on.
chemicals involved, yeah.
Um, but there is also a direct effect of movement, which could be sort of flow dynamics in arteries, it could be pressure, it could be all of those things, which actually do directly move cells. And there's a skeleton inside the cells called a cytoskeleton. And actually, there are some direct connections between cytoskeleton, and that's outside the nucleus, to the nuclear skeleton. So it's actually um, directly moving the nucleus.
Right, you are, signaling. I like the analogy of the spider web. Imagine a cell has a spider web within it. And I don't know what we put I would say we could say the nucleus is the spider. We've got basically what we call a family spider. She lives in the living room on this massive web, and she sits hovering, and we watch her all the time. And you can watch when something is happening in her web, when, a fly or comes and jostles her web, she immediately becomes active. And so I that's why I wonder, is the nucleus becoming active once there's some sort of jostling of the web, signaling movement of this particular type, is being put into this area, or also maybe signaling no movement is being put into the web. I don't think we think of
Yes.
no movement as a signal. The load of not moving is much more volumic than the load of moving. And that's where you're getting recipes. The fact that you're making recipes based on the not moving of the web. And those recipes are inflammation, dealing with inflammation.
Right.
Um,
What
you're
yeah.
always cooking in the kitchen, but
Yes.
what recipes are you making? I'll be using the recipe analogy for a long time. Sorry, everybody. This idea of putting movement into the cell and getting the spider to do something that wasn't necessarily as a result of a chemical catalyst, which isn't to say chemicals aren't involved, but mechanically It's the plucking of the spiderweb strings that goes on to create chemistry. Nutritious movement is because we're so used to the idea of put chemicals in the form of food and get chemistry and cellular behavior. And I'm saying, well, in this case, it's a different type of nutrient. It's a plucking of the spiderweb nutrient, and then you get chemistry. Then you get protein, you get recipes happening, but you initiate with a non-chemical input. Other nutrients are chemically input, right? They're food, they're sunlight. This is another nutrient that is mechanically inputted, but it behaves in the same way. Ultimately, epigenetics are what we're talking about. So,
Certainly a component. Now, the one thing about epigenetics is they can be a kind of a memory. So these things can be quite quick and transitory, but they also can be what I would call semi-permanent.
mhm,
So this is your moving your book from the archive to the
to the front. Yeah.
you compare people or legs, like there was that classic study when you compared the trained leg to the non-trained leg, and it's over. You're talking about a period of time where those changes will stay. Some of them will revert very quickly, but some will actually stay as what we call an epigenetic memory. So that leads to adaptation. So although the underlying code is not changed, you can have the sticky notes can be changed, and they can be changed rapidly, but they can also, some of them will change and last for months, years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, the idea that one leg would have some recipes out in front and have a different archive than another leg simply because the way you've moved it. I think that that really is just like allow that to sink in for what movement patterns are. Why it's so
Yes.
hard to move outside of a pattern. And I think that a lot of times we think about it that being neurological.
Mm,
It's about recruitment and patterns, but the idea that some of how you respond is because of which recipe books you pull out more often, or that you would even have some body parts. And this is why I really think people should read Movie or DNA to recognize that movement is an input that is not only systemic. It's really hard to get away from the systemic language around
it
exercise.
is.
You are moving or you're not moving. And there are systemic benefits to movement. They're what we talk about most often, but there are these part by part effects, and you've got some parts of your body that are so sedentary that they don't have any benefit to movement despite having some systemic benefits, and it's why distribution of movement is so important because we want you to be making double crust apple pie in all of your cells and not to have some cells that are just dusty cobwebs
That's
with a
right.
spider that is only making the recipe for inflammation.